Ever wonder what the future of digital defense actually looks like? Well, today we're getting a front row seat. We're diving into the latest SANS Research Review journal. And look, this isn't some abstract theory from an ivory tower. This stuff comes straight from the trenches. It's practical research from professionals tackling the very problems they see every single day.
And this is the perfect way to frame it. Ed Skoutas, the president of the SANS Technology Institute, says it all right here. This research is all about being ready for what's next. These aren't just academic papers. They're blueprints for solving emerging, real-world challenges.
So that really tees up the big question, doesn't it? What is next? Where are the new battle lines being drawn?
Well, based on this research, the future fight seems to be happening on 4 key fronts. First, the rise of AI. Then, the ever-expanding cloud frontier. Third, a fundamental rethinking of our digital defenses. And finally, the fine art of hunting the most advanced threats. So, let's get into it.
First up, artificial intelligence. And no surprise here, right? It's a huge focus. But what's really fascinating is that the research shows it's a true double-edged sword. It's both an incredibly powerful new weapon in our arsenal and a brand new vulnerability we have to protect.
And this really shows you those two sides of the coin. On the one hand, you have AI as this watchful guardian, sifting through mountains of alerts to find the real threats. But on the other hand, you see we need to guard the guardians themselves. We have to build guardrails to stop these powerful models from being tricked into, say, writing a super convincing phishing email. And what's really cool is how AI is already changing the game in security operations. Research from Anthony Russo shows that large language models can totally supercharge our SOAR tools, that's security orchestration, automation, and response. You can think of it like upgrading from a rigid old playbook to a dynamic, quick-thinking system that's just way better at responding to threats on the fly. And hey, this isn't just a theory. This is hard data. Research from William L. Copeland Jr. put AI to the test in memory forensics. He basically fed memory dumps to different AI models to see if they could spot malware. The results? They're pretty amazing. I mean, look at this table. Anthropic's Claude 3 Opus, a perfect score. 100% accuracy, 0 false positives. That is a total game changer for digital investigators.
All right, let's switch gears and move to our second theme, securing the cloud. You know, for years, the big argument here has always been this supposed trade-off between security and performance, especially when you're talking about modern container environments.
And Dr. Johannes Ulrich just nails the problem here. So many decisions get made based on this fear that security is going to grind everything to a halt, but without anyone actually measuring the real-world cost. But we don't have to guess anymore. This is where it gets good. This incredible research from Luke Stigdon shows what happens when you actually do the measurements. He benchmarked Nginx web servers with various security tools, and the big takeaway is this. The performance hit is not only measurable, but in a lot of cases it's so small you'd barely even notice it. This gives developers the actual data they need to make decisions based on risk, not on fear.
And the research on the cloud is just incredibly broad. I mean, just look at the kind of challenges being tackled here. We're talking everything from locking down Kubernetes to stop attackers from moving around, to pressure testing zero trust policies, finding malware hiding inside containers, and even stopping new kinds of firewall evasion. The cloud is complex, and our defenses have to be just as sophisticated. You know, moving from data-driven decisions in the cloud leads us perfectly to our third big theme, a fundamental shift in how we even think about defense. This is about moving beyond just patching symptoms and instead fixing the problems at their root cause. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Passwords are broken. They are the weak link in the chain, the wide-open front door that lets everything from phishing to credential stuffing happen. The good news, research into things like passkeys is finally showing us a credible path to a more secure, password-free world. But what if we could prevent vulnerabilities before they're even written? Now take a look at this chart from Christopher Ross's paper. It is absolutely stunning. It shows the number of certain kinds of vulnerabilities found in different programming languages. I mean, look at the massive difference between Java and something like Go or C#. It's not even in the same ballpark. So why? The answer is something called memory safety. So what exactly is a memory-safe language? Well, think of it like this. It's a language that's designed from the ground up to prevent whole classes of common, really dangerous bugs, the kinds of things like buffer overflows that have been haunting us for decades. By choosing to build our software with these languages, we can wipe out a huge percentage of vulnerabilities before a single line of code ever gets deployed. It's a massive shift in how we build secure systems. And that brings us to our fourth and final theme, the proactive hunt for advanced threats. This is all about finding the adversaries who are already inside your network, the ones who are experts at hiding their tracks. It is the ultimate needle in a haystack problem.
Let's look at a real-world example. So this is what a standard security tool, Suricata, sees when it's looking at traffic from the Picabot malware. And the problem is, it generates a few generic alerts, but it's mostly noise. It's completely missing the real threat hiding in plain sight.
But then, a researcher named Frederick Paterno went and developed his own custom rule sets, specifically designed to spot Picabot's unique behaviors. The result? A staggering 23,000% increase in detection rates. And that is the key takeaway right there. It wasn't about buying a new, shiny box. It was about deep knowledge, constant innovation, and human expertise refining the tools we already have. That is the very essence of effective threat hunting. It's all about making the invisible visible. This is super cool. It shows research using an advanced Linux tool called eBPF. You can think of it like a superpower that lets you safely watch everything happening deep inside the operating system. And here, it's being used to catch a stealthy attack called process injection in real time. This is how modern defenders are literally pulling attackers out of the shadows.
So after all that, what are the big takeaways from this glimpse into the future? First, AI is a powerful ally, but it's an ally that needs its own security. Second, cloud security isn't about guesswork, it's about data and measurable trade-offs. Third, building a safer future starts at the very foundation with memory-safe code. And finally, the most advanced threats, they'll always need smart, creative humans to hunt them down.
You know, if there's one single idea that ties all of this cutting-edge research together, it's this. Security is a process, not a product. It's a never-ending cycle of learning, adapting, and innovating.
Which leaves us with one final, really crucial question to think about. We've seen how AI, the cloud, and new defensive strategies are shaping what's next in cybersecurity. But as the threats keep evolving, the real question is, how will you,